Hello, gorgeous beings. So, today we want to talk about breaking through fitness norms and stepping into the feminine fitness codes. I want to open your eyes to what it really takes to not just be fit and healthy, but to embody what your body is really calling for you to do. And a lot of fitness industry tips ignore a big portion of what it's going to take for you to feel your most confident, feel the most relaxed, and actually just go with the flow of what your specific being is calling out for. The reason why a lot of us are feeling unwell and are in bodies that don't feel like us is because we are ignoring the signs from our own body. And so today I want to talk a little bit more about how we can become more in tune and really break free from those norms that might not be right for you. I'm really excited to go into three main categories. The first one is the feminine fit codes. So a lot of people will go out there and they will go on a diet, they'll work out really hard. They might get to their goal weight, they might not. A lot of people do end up getting stuck in just 5 more pounds, 10 more pounds, and over the years they just start to gain more and more. The fitness codes is helping you get to a place where you reach your goal and then you can actually maintain it. And not just maintain it, but you might be able to eat more. You can relax. You don't always have to be like looking behind your shoulder and be like, oh, I got to be careful because I don't want to gain any more weight. So we want to take an approach that is going to be less about restriction and more about the joy of movement, of self-love, and allowing ourselves to, again, find that flow. So the first one is actually just called the fitness codes. And here I combined fitness and food together. And our main goal with this, instead of releasing fat, I want you to focus on building your metabolism, building muscle, because the metabolism is what allows you to eat more. It's going to be what allows you to, instead of focusing on restriction, focusing on the abundance of stepping into your dream body. And that's what we want. We don't want to be restricting. We want to feel free. We want to feel abundant. We want to enjoy the process. We want to fall in love with the process. I always say, I want you to fall in love with yourself and the process. These are not two separate ideas. These concepts need to walk hand in hand for them to be a long-term solution. A big portion of it is going to come from lifting weights and putting on some muscle. And then another part of it is the protein, how important that is for building the muscle. Again, protein is going to allow you to have a higher thermic effect, which means it takes more calories to not just eat it and break it down, but it's going to take more calories because those calories are going to be funneled towards the muscle and building it, which again is going to give you that long-term metabolism. The other main point is cardio. I always suggest when it comes to thinking about cardio and what its purpose is, it's not to release fat. It's not to lose weight. I want you to think of cardio as, how do I stay healthy? How do I stay vital? Now, with that being said, focusing on cardio the right way will allow you to, I say reverse aging, because I feel like I biologically get younger, even if I chronologically am getting older. Yes, I'm still getting older, but not at the same pace. Now, if you do cardio incorrectly, it can do the exact opposite. So doing cardio and focusing on the benefits and why you're doing it, removing the thought about releasing weight, which it can definitely help you, but if you're focused on that, you can do certain habits that will affect your collagen, your skin, your muscle mass. Muscle is one of the best indicators of overall health and youth and vitality. We want to focus on cardio to be more healthy and more vital. And in the long run, you will get those results. So just to kind of give you a little idea of what in the world I'm talking about, doing a lot of intense cardio, especially for women, can, again, break down the muscle, which, like I said earlier, is one of the main factors that we have control over when building up our metabolism. And as we get older, yes, our metabolism slows down. Now, it doesn't slow down until we're closer to our 60s, but the muscle portion of the metabolism begins to slow down much sooner, as soon as your late 20s and 30s. So muscle, again, is got to be the main focus if one of the things that you are wanting to accomplish is staying lean and trim and tone all year round for life. Cardio, we want to be focusing on the joy of the movement, because if you enjoy it, you're going to do it a lot longer. But again, if you're doing cardio that you enjoy, there has been shown that it actually increases your energy. And energy is a huge factor when it comes to releasing weight, when it comes to your mood, when it comes to your general experience of life. Being able to move and embody and just feel really good and safe, and all of those things we want to feel on our body come from movement that aligns with us, not necessarily aligned with a goal where we're really pushing ourselves and maybe doing it, especially if you don't enjoy it. So there are times for women specifically, because we have these hormonal changes week to week, which men don't have, that pushing yourself really hard is going to help you increase your growth factor. Growth factor is what keeps your skin looking young. Growth factor helps you put on more, but done at certain times can break down your collagen, can increase the stress hormone in your body. And the stress hormone is going to affect all of your hormones, because they're not like individual. It's not like this hormone only affects this and this and this. They all affect each other. They're like a ecosystem. So we want to make sure that there are times when we can push ourselves to make sure we're getting the most of the human growth factor, so that we can get the youthful benefits and that we can put on our muscle, but not overextending ourselves all the time, because again, then it will have negative effects of breaking down our collagen, breaking down our youthful looks, breaking down the muscle, which is necessary for our metabolism, and also increasing cortisol, the stress hormone, which I always say is the number one killer in women. And that stress can be mental, emotional, but it can also be physical. So there's a lot of reasons why your cardio is something that you want to take into consideration, the whole picture of vitality, of how it makes you feel, of what it's actually doing for your health. And then the other thing that I want to focus on is we want to talk about the cravings. We want to talk about the emotional part of eating, because eating isn't just for sustenance, as we know. A lot of us tend to use it as a coping mechanism. I will be coming out with a podcast where I talk about the coping mechanisms. And I honestly believe that podcast will change your reality. It'll change your perspective on fitness, on health, on your career goals, and how you perceive the intention behind all of your actions. And most importantly for here, how will absolutely change the way you see health and fitness and your body and your relationship to it. So cravings, whether they are because of the food we're eating, or if it's because of another factor like our mood, and again, just using it as a coping mechanism. It's not just what you're eating, but it's what is going on in here of why you're eating and what you're eating and how it's affecting how your body is responding to food. Is it causing you to crave more? What are the meanings behind your individual cravings? Once you can get to the why and you can unpack that, then you can focus on your strategy of nutrition and movement in a more logical way. And that's really, really important, because a lot of times we don't look at the diet and the movement in a logical way. A lot of times it turns into an emotional thing. And so I want to talk about the emotions, but we got to figure out what is the underlying causes for each and every person. And that can be done if you are being a little bit more mindful. So that's number one. That's the feminine fitness codes, focusing on the kind of movement Why are you doing your cardio? Are you doing the things that you need to do to not just build muscle, but maintain the muscle so that you have the metabolism so that once you do reach your goals and you reach your dream body and you're celebrating, you don't have those setbacks, you don't have the plateaus, you don't experience the frustration of slipping back. If you're not focusing on your metabolism, it is much easier to put the weight back on plus some. And that can be so destructive to your motivation. And when I speak of motivation, I really want to speak on your inspired action of wanting and loving and doing these things because you have this internal innate desire to do them. Again, when I talk about the coping mechanisms, I will talk a little bit more about how motivation, accountability, hustle, discipline are just coping mechanisms and how you can get to the root cause of those and heal those. Because if you don't heal the root cause, if you don't heal why you have these coping mechanisms, you're going to be fighting yourself and you're going to be losing energy because you're going to be focusing on the wrong things. When you do things from an inspired place, this place of love and excitement and all of those really high energy things, you end up receiving more energy. It's exponential. It's not just reciprocal, it's exponential. The amount of energy you get back from the actions you are taking. That is what it really is going to come down to make this process permanent and make it a process of love and joy. Let's go into the feminine flow codes. Our hormones fluctuate. What we want to be able to do when it comes to our cycles is we want to first acknowledge that our cycles affect us. They affect our mood. They affect our energy. They're going to affect our experience with our loved ones, with the things that we need to do during our day. Every single week, our experience of life is going to change, and it is dictated by our emotions. With that being said, we also not just want to acknowledge it, we need to, and we deserve to accept that, to be able to release the guilt and any shame that comes with us not being the same person we were last week. One week you might feel motivated and inspired and excited. You might have a lot of energy. You might not have the cravings, and you might feel like you are on top of the world. And that has a lot to do with our hormones. But then the next week, you might have no energy. Your mood might be lower. You might not feel like going out there and going after it. You might feel like cuddling up at home in a blanket. And I want you to accept that that is a part of who you are, and it's not wrong. And if you know this, if you can allow yourself the ability to step back and go, okay, these are the cycles I go through. These are the reasons, and this is how I want to change how I go into each week. You are going to have a better chance of adhering because you're going to understand how each week your nutrition, your movement, even your relationships, how you show up at work is going to change, because your hormones don't just affect your hunger and how many calories you need to eat, which it does. We don't want to be sticking to the same calories. If you're someone who is tracking right now, you shouldn't be sticking to the same calories week to week, because your body requires more to support your hormones. When it comes to hormones, they're going to indicate how easy or how challenging it might be to release weight, how much energy you have. It's even going to affect your ability to recover. It's going to affect your long-term health. If you are pounding away during times of the month when your body is calling for you to nurture yourself, when your body is calling you to take time to reflect, when your body is maybe even calling for you to connect, and you are doing something differently, this is going to affect your long-term health. It's going to affect your hormones. And then as your hormones become disrupted, it is going to affect everything. And so you want to get to a place where you start to honor your hormones and understand how they affect your results, the actions you want to be taking, how you are experiencing your life. And this will give you so much more acceptance. So you want to be able to accept these changes and realize that it's also going to affect your stress. So again, if we take into consideration what I was talking about in the fit codes, how you are working out, is your body able to manage that kind of stress, or is it affecting you on a hormonal level? How is this affecting your relationships? Like even in my job, like I have it very specifically set up of when do I do podcasts? When do I go live? When am I spending more time at work and I'm doing deep work, like behind the scenes, where maybe I'm not showing up, and being out there? Is this a good time for me to take a break and go out with my girlfriends and get that connection? Or is it a better time for me to huddle up in a blanket and journal, or whatever? It's going to be different for everyone. But once you start to acknowledge and accept the fluctuations and the changes in your body hormonally, it is going to bring so much more flow to your everyday life, not just your journey on reaching your goals, but just you're going to find a more ease in your life. And that is just as important, if not more important, than reaching your goal weight or creating your dream body, whatever that might be for you. So that is number 2, the feminine flow codes. And then we want to go into the feminine frequency codes. It has a big impact on your intuition when it comes to your body, when it comes to the food that you want to be eating. It affects your energy. The frequency codes is I take into consideration something called human design, and it has changed everything for me, for my clients. It's one thing to take into consideration the diet and movement, that that underlining science and even the hormones, but then you as a unique person, you have a unique blueprint. And so being able to have these frequency codes, these unique insights into your energy and how that changes how you feel. I believe that this is going to be so important when it comes to that intuition, because people on the outside, like the fitness influencers and even your doctor or your friends, they're going to have this guidance of this is how you should do things, but you might intuitively feel drawn to eating certain foods, eating in a certain way. You might be drawn to moving your body in a certain way. And I want you to be able to trust yourself. I want you to be able to, one, take the fitness codes, the general blueprint, right? A starter point, and then be able to insert your own intuitive knowings. And it's a lot easier, I think, to follow an intuitive knowing if you have the background knowledge of, hey, this is how you are best meant to be in the world. This is how you are going to feel your most energetic. So when it comes to the frequency codes, it goes into how do you eat? Some of us are going to do better if we eat on a very scheduled routine, specific food. So 7 in the morning, you might eat an omelet, and at noon, you have a salad or some kind of wrap, and you have a very set schedule. Some people are going to thrive with that. And then there's going to be other people who feel restricted. Other people who get up at different times of the day and they just feel called to eat when their body speaks to them. For different people, each one of those things can be right. Some people are going to do much better at eating cold foods, and their body just works better that way. Some people need to eat in silence, and some people are going to thrive more when they're eating in an environment that is lively and there's things going on. The way you eat can be shown to you right in your DNA, right in your energetic codes. So that frequency of just understanding how each of us are different and allowing that, accepting that, and adding that into your routine, it can be relaxing. It can be yeah, this is how it's meant to be. It also can affect the way you move your body. For some people, their human design, their frequency codes, they're going to be the healthiest when they push themselves. Every day they need to push themselves a certain amount to really feel satisfied by the end of the day. And then there's going to be other people who, taking a more chill approach, listening to their bodies every day, having a more ebb and flow, listening to their actual energy and what it's saying and how it's speaking to them. Some people are going to thrive when it comes to things like yoga and Pilates. And some people are going to thrive when they're lifting as heavy as they can and doing PRs or personal records. It is going to depend a lot on your frequency codes. And this even is going to take one step further, and it's going to talk about your decision-making skills and how are you going to know what you need to be doing in that day in each moment, and really tapping into your own intuition. All three of these things are what I believe is what it's going to take for you to find harmony in your routine, to allow yourself to bring your dream body into reality. It's not one thing. It's not, here's the one blueprint. It takes all three of these pieces to find alignment for you to feel like you are in flow with your body, with your nutrition, with your movement, with your job, with your relationships, really understanding who you are, your unique blueprint, and breaking free from the fitness norms. And that is why I created the Feminine Fit Codes. I created this program because, one, I believe we all have this internal desire to make a difference. And so this was originally a part of my signature program. And I took this piece so that you have the strategy, but not just the fitness strategy. You have the flow strategy and the frequency strategy. And so what comes in it is there's 3 months of a plan when it comes to your movement, when it comes to exercise, and it comes to understanding your hormones and how to incorporate that. And I also included awesome workbook. It is your blueprint to allow you to get this all on paper so that you have this forever. This is your strategy. It comes with 45 videos, 4 different modules, because I break up the fitness and the food codes so that there's not too much information all at once. I made it $47. It's going to go up to $97, which is the original price. Well, the original price was over $1,000, but I wanted to give this to people because I wanted to allow women to open up the possibilities of what it could look like, their relationship with their body, their relationship to food. And the other thing that I want to add in, I have incredible bonuses, because a huge part of this is not just the strategy. It is going to be your mindset. It is going to be your subconscious. It's going to be some of those coping mechanisms that might sabotage you. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to take it a step further. So I offered 3 bonus gifts. I'm offering is the Radiant Revive, which is an empowering health and weight liberation hypnosis to help you get to the subconscious, because a lot of times the subconscious is going to be a different identity than what you consciously want to create in your life. And so I wanted to help women get to the subconscious parts of them that might want to do some of these actions and behaviors that aren't aligned with your desires. So it helps you align your beliefs with your desires. Number 2, the free bonus that I'm giving is called the Radiant Resonance. So this is going to help you attune to your dream body energy. So it's going to go into in depth how to increase your frequency and your vibration of your dream body. This is a game changer. It really breaks down the energy, the frequency. It helps increase your consciousness. It's so, so good. And I usually only offer it to my one-on-one paying clients. And then the third gift is called Radiant Integration. So this is going to help you align your goals seamlessly into your timeline and into your frequency so that you align your intentions, your focused energy, and you have a more empowered subconscious so that whatever your goal is, it's installed in there. You can get rid of all those little guys in there, like talking you out of this stuff. So those are the 3 gifts. These bonuses to help you glow up are worth more than the price of the Feminine Fit Codes, also called the Feminine Fit Flow and Frequency Codes. So I wanted to invite you to take advantage of that right now. When you jump in and you get started, you can also join the Dream Body Alchemy group, where I will be in there to support you and hold you accountable. That is the most important part. You want a really great strategy. This is literally the best strategy that you will come across that is going to be the most attuned to your unique needs. You also need accountability. Even though this is a coping mechanism, you need accountability until you can heal what you need to heal. And we'll talk about that next. And then you need support. We all need to be nurtured. We all need to have someone believe in us. And I absolutely believe that if you have the fit codes, if you understand yourself at a deeper level, that you can make this happen permanently. And it can absolutely be a journey of self-love, and it can be a journey where you love the process. So I want you to take the power of the feminine, and I want you to create your dream body, bring it into reality. And I believe the feminine fitness, flow, and frequency codes can be your blueprint to achieving that. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I want this for you so much, and I'm here to support you.